Hi, and welcome to the CAFMA Connect. I'm your host, Fire Chief Scott Freitag, and with me, once again, Assistant Chief John Venema.
Always a pleasure.
You say that
I do.
now, but you run the other direction when I come talk to you about, hey, can you be on the podcast today?
If I'm busy, then
True.
It's always nice to have a reason, but not always.
Well, and I mean, today we had a topic that I was able to sell to you pretty quickly, and you're like, yeah, we can cover that. That'll be fun. First, though, I want to point out, I know that you didn't attend Jonah and my class at the AFCA Leadership Conference.
I wonder why.
On podcast.
I mean, I love you guys, but
kind of disappointed not to see you there. But Jonah made the point of pointing out the clock we have in here, and he said, this is the most important thing you can have in your studio, not that he actually pays any attention to it. And I thought, nah, he's not wrong.
No, he's not. No, he's not.
he's-
Sometimes I want to look, but it's like way over my shoulder and it'd be too obvious.
Right.
So I try not to, but every now and then, like, are you kidding me?
Well, and he's
You
accurate.
still have more words?
Wait, I always have words.
Yes.
I mean, at least you weren't on here with Holger. He went almost an hour.
That's true. He's got a lot of words, too.
He does.
Yeah.
He does. But he's more eloquent than I am.
Eh,
He's shorter.
that's
More
true.
eloquent. So, John, the reason I called you here today,
Yeah.
when we were at the conference, I heard a rumor, and that rumor was about me, but I didn't hear it from our folks. I heard it from someone that works with the Golden Ranch Fire District, great organization, and I just found it interesting because it wasn't from the union guys that I normally hear it from. It was from the Fire Marshal's division. So I went into Ben, and I shared it with him, and he rolled his eyes and said, it's all over the floor at CAFMA, and if you could please address it, I'd appreciate it, because him and Sean have been very busy playing whack-a-mole trying to squash it.
Sure.
So, rumor, Chief Freitag is leaving CAFMA to take Randy Carter's position in Golden Ranch when he retires in spring. Fact, nope, go ahead.
You're not?
No, I'm not.
Oh, man. So I've been wrong this whole time.
Yeah.
Dang it.
You can keep trying.
This is
but
news to me.
I'm not leaving.
All right. Well,
So-
it's good that we're here having this discussion.
The fact is, no. The union in Golden Ranch and Northwest had talked to me on some occasions about considering that position. What I told them was, hey, look, great organization. Love you guys. Love hanging out with you. But I work for a great organization with some fantastic people, and we're doing a lot of great things. And unless the political environment somehow imploded, there's no reason for me to look for a job anywhere else.
They haven't fired you yet, so
That's right.
Why test the waters?
I know. There's no reason to. I mean, quite honestly, look at some of the stuff that I say and do.
I do.
It's all within. It's within bounds. They're just kind of.
They're wide.
They're wide.
Yes.
Yeah,
No,
the rails
board,
are wide.
you should acknowledge the board. Very supportive.
We have a lot of support from the board.
Yes.
And the rails are wide because some of the things we're working on require the rails to be wider to get things done. And thankfully, the board recognizes that, as uncomfortable as it makes some other folks here. They also recognize, he's right. We tried the other way.
Yeah.
This is not working, but I'm not going to be the one out front saying it. Let him do it.
Exactly. And I think one of the other things that you've done well while you've been here is communicating not just to the board, but to other stakeholders within the community. I think you've done a good job just educating, a lot of the different folks on that, exactly what you just said. We've tried this, but now we're doing this, and this is pushing the comfort boundaries a little bit, but this is why we're doing it, and we're doing it for good reason, and we're trying to get results. So I think you've done a good job, even in the midst of that turmoil and some of the concern that we all have for what comes out of your mouth.
Yes.
But
things do.
sharing that with a wider group so that it's not just us doing it in a silo, in a small little kingdom.
Right.
We're including the whole community.
Well, and we shared the plan up front. Yep. Here's what we're going to do with community stakeholders, with elected officials. As a matter of fact, it was recommended by some senior elected advisors.
Sure.
And I said, do you mean this? And they said, absolutely. Okay, then we will go that direction if that's what that requires. But that said, I am not going to Golden Ranch. They have not opened up the search yet, but I will not be picking up an application. No offense to the Golden Ranch Northwest folks. They're great people.
Yes.
Love hanging out with them. Love working with them. But I like working here, and I have no reason to leave.
There's a couple other chief jobs are available. Are you just going to a different one and just not to Golden Ranch?
I mean, there's Sedona.
Sedona's open, yeah.
Sedona's open. What was the other one that just opened up recently?
Timber Mesa.
Timber Mesa. Yep,
Yes.
Timber Mesa's opening up. No.
All districts, so you would be acceptable there. We all know that you couldn't work for a municipality.
Well, interesting fun fact.
Yeah.
You know how rumors sometimes tend to shift.
Well, sure.
They change a little bit. So in the same general area, the other rumor was that I had built a kingdom so that I could go to Tucson, city of Tucson Fire Department.
Nice.
Again, great people, good friends. Josh there, their union president, great guy. Chuck Ryan, who's also a very good friend, happens to be their fire chief, who's not leaving.
Yeah.
So
there's kind of not an opening for you there, but
there's not an opening there. Yeah. And even then, if you look at the politics of the city of Tucson versus the politics of the area we live in, and you look at me.
You mean your mouth?
Yes.
Yeah.
They don't fit.
All right.
Together.
Yeah,
and
that's accurate.
I mean, the city of Tucson has a vaccine mandate. I've been opposed to vaccine mandates for our organization, so I couldn't go work.
They wouldn't want you.
They don't want me.
They don't want you.
They don't want me.
All right. Well, we still want you.
They like hanging out with me.
Yeah. You're fun.
So for some, hearing this, you may be upset. I get it.
He's not going anywhere,
Not
guys.
everybody's going to be happy about that. But others, because I do get asked a lot, hey, Chief, how long are you going to stay? How long are you going to keep working?
Yes.
And so let's just lay it out, because that's what I'm putting in the review this week.
Nice.
I would like to work 8 more years. September 3rd, 2030 will be 35 years to the day when I started in the fire service.
Cool.
And it'll be 2 months after I turned 60. And I've got 2 years prior to that in emergency medicine, being a paramedic EMT. So altogether 37 years, but that's my target date. Now, anything in the next 8 years could happen. We could get a different board who doesn't like me, doesn't appreciate some of the things I say and do, and I could be let go. Or, and we've talked about this, as senior staff, we try to keep each other in check as far as getting too comfortable or stagnant and not wanting to move forward. And if I became that roadblock, which I don't want to be, then I'm not good for the organization. I'd have to leave. But as a collective, it doesn't appear that we're there yet.
I'll tell you.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll let you know.
Perfect.
We're not there yet.
Okay, good.
Keep doing good things.
Well, and I mean, we just did strategic planning yesterday, setting goals and objectives. And, man, there's a lot of stuff on there that we still have to do and plans that we have to make. And so one of the objectives we talked about is we want to start a staffing plan for 5 years. We're pretty good for 3. 2 years will be more of a guess. But if the Prop 310 goes through, we're going to be able to hire people that we need. So we're going to look at that. But we also want to look from an operations perspective, what's being built in our area?
Sure.
And what equipment, people, stations will that require? Yeah,
no doubt. You look at just some of the developmental stuff that's going on and some of the buildings that are being built, the expansion of the community. There's a lot of decisions to be made, and I think it's all good stuff.
Oh, yeah.
The challenge, again, that you mentioned was funding. Yeah, we still have to figure out the funding and be reasonable and responsible with how we, manage those funds. But we definitely, with the growth in the community, the call volume increasing, the types of buildings going up, we have some decisions to be made, and not a bad thing. It'll force us, like you say, to collaborate with our partners. I know the relationship with the city of Prescott, I feel, especially at the senior staff level, is very good.
Oh, yeah.
And it's good because we need that. We need them, and they need us to help run, the calls in this community. So it's nice to see that continue to grow.
And we actually added Prescott Fire Department into our strategic plan and assigned things to them. Actually, they're assigned to the collective, the group.
Yeah.
But their name is in there under some of the objectives so that we're working together. And it's just kind of a reminder, hey, we can't make these big decisions just based on what's happening in our area, because what's happening in Prescott impacts us and what's happening here impacts them.
Well, I think having Chief Durr on the discussion with
Right.
while we're establishing those goals and we're evaluating the goals that we currently have and assigning those tasks for this next year, he was on the line and was able to weigh in on a couple of those different objectives that we had for those goals that we've set, and it was great to have that influence and great to have that information. And again, it just shows the partnership that we have with a community partner like that, where they are part of our strategic planning. That's huge.
No, it is. And the other part of that turned out really well was you were able to send a preemptive piece of information to the Station 51 crew
Yes.
before you got the angry phone call
Sure.
about a bunch of hoses being stacked
Yep.
in the weight room because Chief Durr said, hey, just got done unloading this. Need to let you know it'll be out of there in 2 hours. There's a snafu with delivery. So again, another good reason that he was on the call. You know, what's interesting, John, is that when I came here in 2013 and I first read Chino's strategic plan, and they did a SWOT analysis, and one of the threats they listed was CYFD and some of the other surrounding partners.
Sure.
So it's good to see
Yes.
that as we're developing our goals and objectives, that we are adding our partners in under goals and objectives and not threats, because you should never do that. I don't know. I know Tharp held that against me. I'm like, I didn't do this thing. I didn't put it in there. And Chino, for their part's like, well, that's not what we meant.
Yeah.
It wasn't meant that way. And I think, if I remember correctly, Central had something in one of theirs that was, it's like, this is the wrong approach.
Yeah.
So humorous when we look back on it. But when I first read that, I said, shred every one of these documents. That's out the window. We have to start over again.
Yeah.
So just so you know,
Yeah.
we tried that. But we're saying that to get to this, which is there's not really an opportunity for us to get stagnant because our community is not stagnant.
Yeah.
The growth in the area is significant. The increase in call volume is significant. And so we have to constantly be working, monitoring, and changing to meet the demand and the need.
Yep. Well, that's like you say, that's the responsibility, and that's part of the strategic planning process. We've included it in the discussion in terms of staffing and having to look at that. We're also looking at accreditation and how that will, push the organization to just evaluate and make sure that what we say we do, we are actually doing. And it'll be just good evaluation for the organization, but it also makes sure that we don't stay stagnant. And that look at strategic planning, how that ties to our budget, how that ties to our, the direction we move forward. That's a big key, I think, that CYFD put in place, years ago.
Absolutely,
that helped us, endure some of the hard times. And there could be more hard times ahead. And I think that's that planning process, and we're going to have to continue to evaluate. Obviously, you mentioned the staffing part of it. We talked about 5 years. Man, if we hit that target, we'll be lucky.
Right.
Because some of it's a guess. But at the same time, we know that call volume's increasing. Some of the buildings that you mentioned already, those are getting larger, taller, more hazardous potentially, and we have to make the adjustment. So.
Right. Well, and some of those are going to create new and different hazards that our folks really haven't had to deal with before. We're talking about a 6-story building with 3 sides and a parking garage in the middle. We don't have one of those currently.
Not so much.
So we need to look at our training and programs and see, okay, well, where do we need to fill a gap related to these new buildings coming in?
Yeah.
What gaps do we have in equipment as we look at more garden-style apartments, offsets coming in, more hotels coming in, more commercial coming in? It changes some of the dynamic of what we need from what we used to always run to what we need to maybe consider in the future.
Yeah.
So the other part that I noticed when we were doing this yesterday was Jonah's division. It seemed like every objective in some way went back and tied back into tech. And Jonah, for his part, was great. He's like, yep, I see it. Yep, got it. Here's the list. But I need to have a conversation with Cody when he gets back about, as part of the staffing plan, are we giving Jonah the resources he needs, given the cybersecurity issues that we face today that we didn't face in the past?
Yep.
The development of all the new programs, the moving to .gov, the transition to Microsoft 365. And these aren't one-time things. These are going to be the .gov thing maybe, but some of this other stuff, the IT is just ongoing.
Sure. And again, even for operations, we're trying to make a lot of the processes electronic.
Right.
We continue to do work to try to get rid of the paper copies, whether it's truck checks, whether it's evaluations, and continue to try to make things more and more electronic with some different workflows. And I know Jonah's been a great part of helping streamline that. But like I say, there's IT is touched by every part of every division and usually every part of operations. So that we certainly poke and prod Jonah quite a bit. So
new rumor, clearly from what Chief Fedema and Chief Freitag said on the podcast, tech services is going to be the focus of new personnel before ops gets anybody.
Oh, that'll be great.
Is that true, what you heard?
I think I'm heading to Sedona.
Oh, you're going to, okay, got it. I'm just saying it could be a rumor. I mean, based on what we said, I'm just trying to catch these things up front.
I think I'm the one that started that rumor.
Perfect. That could be.
Jonah said it.
Could be. So to correct that rumor, all we're saying is that we need to evaluate personnel throughout the organization in each division,
correct,
every one of them. But I can also say that our fleet manager, Dominic, facilities didn't escape, but our warehouse manager, Eric, both kind of got out of having to add too much to this strategic plan this year for them as far as the goals and objectives, because they're like, well, here's what we need, but that requires this system that Jonah's working on for us. So they kind of turfed it to,
nice.
What we need to accomplish, Jonah needs to do. It was a good move. I mean, very strategic.
No, that's very wise.
Very stealthy.
Yes.
So, but it's just those types of things that we need to evaluate. Like you said, with the accreditation process, really showing the community what we do, what we're looking at, how we do it, and what we do need in the future. It makes it a lot easier to go to the public and say, here's what we need and here's why we need it when we have everything to back it up.
Yeah.
Which we already try to do as it is. What was the other rumor?
I was going to say, there's got to be more rumors. We should have like a call-in line right here where they can call in with other
That would
rumors.
be good. Jonah, can we
go
set that
live
up
next time and do like call-ins?
We can do live whenever you guys want. We're ready to do it now. We could go live right now if you wanted to.
The funny thing, though, is, John,
first caller, welcome aboard.
I don't think they might call if they're anonymous, because we'll sit at the kitchen table and we'll say, hey, do you have any questions about anything at all, anything else? The answer is, nope, we're good, Chief. And then you walk out of the room, and then the rumors start again.
Sure.
We could guarantee their anonymity if that would help.
Right? It may. We'd get some interesting...
That'd probably be bad. Never mind.
Yeah, probably not good. Yeah, we would. But there are rumors out there. If you want answers, you can ask questions.
Sure.
And get them. But really, if the biggest rumor we have is that I was going to Golder Ranch, which is a rumor, it's not true, we're not doing too bad.
Well, that's not bad at all. I'll stop saying that then.
Yeah. I mean, there was the comment that I built a kingdom, and we've heard empire building. Kingdom, when I looked up the definition, is actually more spiritual and wholesome.
Yep.
Building an empire is like Darth Vader. It's not good. It's for evil purposes.
Like Death Star.
And I don't think that what we've built at CAFMA, and I say we because CAFMA was built as a collective.
Sure.
Everyone collaborated, everyone was at the table, and everyone understood that creating CAFMA was a way for us to stabilize our foundation, create efficiencies, and create opportunity moving forward. And so it was for the community, it was for our internal people. And to be honest with you, most emperors or kings get to take their spoils with them when they leave. As you said yesterday, you're not taking anything. So,
well, like you say, we were talking about it yesterday, and again, we're glad to have you, and I'm glad to work for you. If you chose to leave tomorrow, it'd be one of those things where it's like, all right, well, we'll see you at the after conference, and we'll keep moving forward.
Right.
I don't see, again, like you say, from the standpoint of an empire, you have done more in your tenure here to help tear down those walls.
Right.
And even in the discussion that we had a second ago in regards to the city of Prescott, even from Chino and CYFD coming together, I think you helped tear down some of those barriers to create CAFMA and community partnerships that, rise and fall. Right now, I think we're doing very well. And again, that's from your effort out there doing good work. And if you left tomorrow, I'd still say I appreciate all that you did. But again, you're not taking any of this with you.
Right.
We get to keep the benefit. Yeah.
This is all the benefit
Jonah,
to us.
make sure you cut off his access like right now, and there it is. So, like I say, from the standpoint of that empire building, I think some of it's just maybe even a concern. We talked a little bit yesterday. What brings up somebody to the mindset to think like any of us are irreplaceable? You could replace me tomorrow with somebody better, smarter, faster, stronger, and I'd be looking at you like, good job.
Yeah, excellent.
I'm gonna go enjoy the next adventure.
And our whole goal and our processes and training processes here are they're set up to share knowledge, develop people, so that those who move into our positions will do a better job than we can do.
Sure.
That's the end goal. And typically in an empire, that's not the end goal. It's the,
cut off heads and do stuff like that. Right? Yeah.
Things like that. We don't do stuff like that. We create opportunity for other people. And it was awesome because one of the union execs talked to me a little bit, and I mentioned this, and he rolled his eyes. He's like, yeah, I know. I heard it. He said, I've been trying to squash it. And some question, well, they've done so many good things here building a resume. Pretty sure when the board hired me in and people welcomed me aboard that your hope was that we together would do good things. And by default, those good things have led to other opportunities for our organization to be represented and recognized in the state. Not just one individual, but the entirety of the organization. And your involvement with the training group and the RAC committee and Tharp's involvement with all the insurance stuff, and Cody's going to get more involved. He just doesn't know it yet.
That's true.
At the state level.
He needs to do some more. I have some ideas.
Yeah, he does. We'll make a list.
That's a good rumor.
Yeah, I like it. What kind of rumor do we want for Cody?
I don't know. We'll think of something next
Cody's
time.
going to college.
Yes.
That's a good one.
Congratulations, Cody.
Yeah, nice work. So, there are fire chiefs that come into organizations who are there to build their resume. They do some things okay for the agency, but they make themselves look really good.
Sure. In
an effort to move and take another step somewhere else. I don't think that I'm that type of person. I don't think I could be that type of person. The involvement in the Arizona Fire Chiefs Association led to us being able to push the legislative changes for ambulance reform, which is what we needed in this area as well as statewide. So all of the stuff that we've worked on there has been a result of being involved at the state level, knowing the players, understanding how the system works, and then being able to work within the system. Because people have told me before that there haven't been a lot of chiefs as involved politically as I've been. And a lot of that has to do with the organization didn't have the staff and support that we have today. Yeah,
I mean, I somewhat joke that we encourage you to go down. Every now and then you'll call, like, why are they doing this? I'm like, Chief, where are you? Well, I'm in Dewey driving out of town. Like, drive faster.
Yeah, the other way.
Going.
And don't call this number.
Yes. lose this number. No.
Because we have ideas. I have ideas.
Yes, you do. Yeah.
But you've come up with ideas.
I don't think very many.
Yeah, a few.
I squashed a few. But like you say, hopefully at the same time, you being allowed to, not allowed, but able to go down there is a reflection on the people doing good work. Not just me, but the whole group as from a whole, from the battalion chiefs, managing day to day to the captains on the crews, doing good work when they go out to the calls. Because in a day and age when people are all too willing to complain, we don't do that bad. Every now and then we have somebody that will bring some information forward, and we certainly filter that through. But folks are doing good work, and it's recognized.
And I don't think we as a collective would appreciate CAFMA being referred to as a kingdom or an empire. I think that we've built a very good organization that works collaboratively to continue development of the organization and our people. but kingdoms and empires are not our thing.
Nope.
We've had other people approach us about bringing them into the organization. I saw it, and we've
suggestion.
declined for various reasons. So, if we were empire or kingdom building, we would just be snatching things up.
You'd be going
and
after every little thing, and like I say, we've certainly had to say no to some good opportunities,
Sure.
but they weren't the right time and was not the right opportunity to take, and so
Right.
we've said no, and that's counter to the concept of like I'm just going to build to build,
right.
which that's out there.
Well, and I will tell everybody right here, right now, that we are going to continue to build CAFMA.
Mm-hmm.
We are going to continue to try our best to excel as an organization and do good things collaboratively for everybody.
Yep.
We recognize not everyone will agree, not everyone will take part, but I go back to my original rule of threes. Every day, 33% of the people will be upset with me, 33% won't care, and 33% will be happy. And really, that adds up to 66% approval rating, which is way better than any politicians. So I'm good with that.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Perfect.
And if I'm doing the job right, people will switch those categories each day depending on the topic.
Sure. Yep.
So with that, John, we have killed a couple of rumors, started maybe a couple more.
That's
Jonah,
right.
good luck with all those new people.
They start next week, right?
Yeah, they're coming in right away.
Perfect.
Cody was gone. It was a good time for you and I just to make a
Exactly.
decision outside the chain of command.
Like it.
Yeah.
When does he get back, by the way?
No one
I asked
knows.
him today, and he wasn't sure. I think he's back in the office.
He may not be coming back. Maybe
next Monday?
he's going to Golden Ranch.
That's true. Maybe
Yes.
Cody's going to Golder
All
or
right.
Sedona or Timber Mesa. So,
One of those.
yep, one of those. So,
Congratulations.
thank you very much for being here, Jonah. Thank you, as always, to you out there. One more time. Rumor was that I'm leaving CAFMA to go to Golder Ranch. Answer is no,
Maybe.
I'm not. Not even applying. Love them. Great group. Not going there. With that, please remember, like and subscribe. Until next week,